Freeway construction and pavement improvement projects are ongoing around the state, including a massive overhaul of the Broadway curve. And for an update on that and more, we welcome Greg Byers, State Engineer at the Arizona Department of Transportation. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
As someone who drives the Broadway curve with some regularity, what is the status? When are we going to get that thing done?
It's getting there. So somewhere beginning of 2025, we'll be finished with it.
Completely finished with it?
Yep.
Okay. What exactly is being done?
So right now, we're in the process of trying to get our what are called our connector distributor roads opened up. So what those are is basically parallel roadways that follow the interstate, but they take care of local traffic instead of the mainline traffic, and instead of intermingling with the mainline traffic that is on I-10, the through traffic coming through. What that'll do is that'll take and reduce the congestion that's on the main line and allow traffic to flow much freer if it's the local traffic through from all the way from Baseline, all the way around if you're headed west, all the way to 40th, and then on the east side coming in from about the 143 all the way through to Baseline.
Okay, I think we have a map of this. 6 lanes, 2 HOVs in each direction, correct?
That's correct.
Do we have? I thought I saw a chair, but can we see a map of the? There we go. All right. So these connector things, are those the things that are kind of bowing out there?
Yes, they are.
And that's based. Those are kind of like mini freeways, aren't they?
That's exactly what they are. But they're intended to handle the local traffic, not the through traffic that you see coming all the way through the state.
Okay, and this is again between Baseline and 40th Street, and
correct.
This. How do you get on and off these things? And once you're on them, can you get back onto the freeway?
Well, what they're intended to do is, like I said, concentrate on the local traffic. So as you're trying to get on I-10 from local traffic, so if you're coming in on Baseline, the first thing you're going to do is hit the CD roads, or the connector distributor roads. You'll stay on those. If you're headed out of town, you hop onto I-10. So there's a slip ramp that allow you to get onto I-10.
And we're seeing on the monitor here, we're seeing what looks like a connector road, right? That's what we're looking at here, right?
That's it, exactly. So you'll see basically the parallel roadways that you see to the main line. And what that's allowing the local traffic to do is to flow through and get to whatever destination within, basically from that Baseline to 40th Avenue.
Yeah, without having to merge on and off the freeway.
Exactly. So that'll stop the weaving on our main line, which cuts down congestion, which allows free-flowing traffic to work all the way through that whole section.
Wow. I mean, well, you talk about we've really grown up here, Greg. That is that's a huge freeway overpass. Mm-hmm. And that is, you're saying that everything we're looking at there is going to get done by the start of next year?
That's exactly right. So the hardest part of this project is exactly what you're looking at right there, which was all of those flyovers and so forth. And they're getting there. They're getting ready to pour the decks on most of those. The superstructure's already in place. So that's the major infrastructure improvements that had to be done besides the pavement.
Okay, I want to get back to the Broadway curve in a second here if we have time, but we have a couple other things that are happening as well. The 202 is being widened, and I think we have a map of that as well. What's happening here?
So the 202, which runs from Price all the way to Val Vista, we're taking and widening it. There will be an extra lane in each direction, is what we're looking at that. So it's just now kicking off. So as a matter of fact here, not this coming weekend, but next weekend may be the first closures that we're going to see. These are nighttime closures. So as we start working on the ramps to take and prepare for those extra lanes. Nighttime
and weekend, or just nighttime?
They're probably going to be weekend night closures is what they'll probably be.
Okay, and that again is a 202 down there, and that's a growing area that needs it. It probably needs it now.
It does. It's needed it.
Yeah.
Well in the past, but now we're finally getting at least an additional lane.
And again, timetable again on that one?
So that one is roughly I think it's about a year and a half project.
Okay. All right. And another one will be widening the 101. What was that all about?
So the 101, which is, I'm trying to remember, I think that's Princess there you go. So that's all the way from Princess down to Shea. So we're widening it with a single lane in each direction as well. We're doing a lot of interchange improvements on this section of road, so that as we're doing the roadway, we're making sure that those are upgraded as well, coming all the way through that entire section.
You know, there are parts, obviously, that has started because
Yes,
that's been a
it's
mess.
under construction
Yeah,
right now.
but it seemed like, I forget, what was the Cactus or one of those exits, that thing went on forever. I mean, the exit itself felt like a parallel road.
It is, and the reason for that is we're having to completely rebuild portions of those interchanges in order to accommodate the extra lane.
What about bridges? Getting back to the Broadway curve here, what about bridges?
So we've got tons of bridges on all of these projects because most of the interchanges are all underpasses. So consequently, anytime we're widening or doing any work to those, the ramps have to be changed. The bridges may have to be modified in some cases. So there's a lot of the bridge work that goes with it.
Did I see that the bridges over the Salt River are being widened?
Yes, they are. So that's part of the Broadway Curve project.
Yeah.
So the additional lanes going all the way down through to, actually to the I-17 split.
And that's already started because I think
Yes.
you've definitely seen that if you're driving on I-10
Yeah, the bridge sections right now are they're just building the abutments up and getting ready for the last of the pours on those bridge decks.
Okay, how much does all this cost? What's the price tag for all this?
So the Broadway Curve is right at $1 billion.
Okay, and it's being paid for by?
So that's all half-cent sales tax through Maricopa County. That's the majority of it, but there's also some federal dollars in there as well.
Yeah, 2000, was it 2004 when that sales tax was first implemented?
That's correct.
Yeah, and obviously it's still going, still approved, everyone's still happy with that.
Yep.
The timetable for the Broadway curve, you're saying early 2025, 202 is another year and a half or so. I would imagine 101 is kind of in that same ballpark
Correct.
there.
Yep.
Is this like painting the Golden Gate Bridge? Once you're done, you just start all over again. I mean, are we going to see more construction once this gets done?
We are, provided Prop 479 passes, which is the extension of the quarter-cent sales tax. There's just a whole gambit of projects that go along with that half-cent sales tax.
Yeah, and last question for the folks who live in Maricopa, that 347 down there,
Yep.
Any hope in sight for that thing?
So we're already going through the design study on it. We're getting ready to start off the design itself on it, but there's no funding associated with the construction on it. So that's the big hang-up, trying to get to that point. So once that funding's established, then we're looking at widening an additional lane each direction on that.
Boy, those folks need it. Last question, real quickly before you go. I-17, heading up to Flagstaff, heading up to Prescott. What's happening?
So we've got two major projects on 17. One is the section from 74 down to, let's see here, it's going from Anthem to 74. So on that one, we're taking and working on the resurfacing as well as some bridge deck joints. But the big one is the Flex Lane project that runs from Anthem all the way up to Sunset Point.
Yes.
We're looking at trying to have the first phase of that, which is going to go from Anthem up to Black Canyon. We're looking at having that opened up by the end of the year.
Wow, great news for everyone heading up north. Greg, good to have you here. Thanks for the update. We appreciate it.
You bet.